unattended. He'll bless the uneducated. He'll bless the delayed. He'll bless the held back. He'll bless the depressed. He'll bless the sufferers. Because James Cone, another author you want to embrace, he said God is the God of the oppressed. God specializes in what has been pressed down. Somebody shout, you gotta trust. Then he told you where you ought to put the trust. He said, trust in the Lord. And too many of us have been met with too many other options. He said, trust in the Lord. For some of us, trust actually has not been a problem. The problem has been where you put it. You cannot misplace your trust and then turn around and blame God. You cannot have an issue with God that he did not return what you did not offer. You cannot go to any ATM in the world and take out what you did not put in. And too many of us are trying to go to ATM GOP and pull out what we did not deposit. So let me help you before I go back to my little part of town. Once you decide you'd rather trust God with no information than to trust man with all the details, you'll win. I'll say it again. You will be better off in life when you get to the place where you will trust God with no information than to trust a man who said they got all the details. The hymnologist said, if you trust and never doubt, he'll surely bring you out. Jeremiah 29:11 is the reason I'll trust God with no information. Because God said, I know the plans that I have for you. I feel my help. Declares the Lord. They're plans of good and not evil, to give you a future and a hope. He said, I'll trust God with no information. Because one thing about life you must understand is that there are some aspects of your life that are none of your business until they are. I said there are some details about your life that are none of your business until God decides they are. It's not God's responsibility to let you see everything. He's been doing this longer than you. He's been writing stories before your chapter ever started. And he'll still be writing stories when you're long gone. He does not answer to you, although he answers for you. It is your responsibility to deposit trust and get God's answer in return. Can I tell you, this climate is going to take trust in God with all your heart. You may not know me well, but know this well. Relying on God has to begin all over again every day as if nothing happened before it. Blind trust every day. That the trust that Monday will require tomorrow can't borrow from Sunday's trust today. It will require you to trust God every day as if he did nothing for you the day before. Part of the reason, and I'm creeping to a close because we got to get to this cookout. Part of the reason we exclude God from our decision making is because we don't want to be accountable to the instructions we'll receive.
That's right.
As quiet as it is kept, my friends, we don't want to be responsible for what he will say. Because somewhere in that itchy spot that the bread at Texas Roadhouse can't fulfill, we have a deep understanding that God is likely to say something that I don't want to hear. But I want to tell you, acknowledge him in everything and exclude him from nothing. Playing softly. Acknowledge him in everything and exclude him from nothing. Acknowledge him in everything and exclude him from nothing. You cannot expect to dismiss him and then say that you miss him. You must acknowledge him in everything and exclude him from nothing. You can expect to refuse him and then return to use him.
That's good.
You must acknowledge him in everything and exclude him from nothing. Your path is crooked and your way has been lost. Your direction has been faulty and your timing has been off because God you refuse, so your conscience has dissolved. But if you just acknowledge him in everything and exclude him from nothing, the way you should go, if you would just let him select it, the path of destiny, then that too he will direct it. But you got to acknowledge him in everything and exclude him from nothing. Hear me with your good ear. God deserves your trust. He's done more than enough to prove himself, and it ain't even his job to prove himself.
Come on here, sir.
He's done more than enough for you to trust him. And the world, aside from God, the world has done more than enough to show that you should trust him. And nothing but him. Acknowledge him in everything and exclude him from nothing. I feel a return of trust in the room. And I'm speaking to the heart of somebody who said, I'm trying this faith thing again. And I'm hoping that with Love City, it's going to be altogether different. Let me tell you something. Love City will be altogether different because you're altogether different. I need you to shout out loud, we are Love City. But God cannot use a people who will not trust him. The pastors cannot lead a people who will not trust God. What good is it to trust Pastor Cindy but not trust the God of Pastor Cindy?
That's right. Teach that.
You got to acknowledge him in everything and exclude him from nothing. Let me tell you a brief part of my testimony. 2 years ago, Pastor Cindy knows this, but let me tell you something. Pastor Cindy and Pastor Jay both know this. Ooh. And exclude him from nothing. Let me tell you a bit about my testimony. They know this. You know, Pastor Jay is so sentimental. You know, oh brother, oh my God. Pastor Cindy said, okay, you were sick. What's next? She don't let you stay down. But you need people like this to tell you that the sickness, the illness, the downfall, the losing of the job, it's not where you live. Trouble is just where we visit. And too many of us, we lack people in our lives who allow us to take permanent residency where we should just stay one day or two. We've turned hotels into homes.
Yeah, that's good.
2 years ago, I was preaching. My godson, my ex, travels everywhere with me. We were, somewhere Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. So walking down the hallway one day in the church, big church. It was a hallway, and I got a little tired, and I figured, I just exerted myself, hooted and hollered. So I said, I'm just tired. So the next day, I felt faint. I was doing something at home, and I felt faint. The feeling came over me, and I went to the hospital. I was speeded up. They had diagnosed me with vertigo. But I had discovered that vertigo is not a diagnosis, it is a cause for something else. So it can be provoked by other things. And here's the word in that. Some people have given you a diagnosis when really it's just a cause. It is the effect of a cause. Sometimes you have to go deeper in God to discover what is going on at the root. That what you are dealing with, experiencing, and facing doesn't just start with you, but there is a genetic DNA that is connected to you. So the spirit of poverty has followed you because it is ancestral. It is an effect to a deeper cause. So after tests, specialists, and all these things, my body was so debilitated I could not drive myself. I could not accept preaching engagements. I wasn't doing business. I lost clients. And it seemed like life was crumbling. I was to the point that I could not go from my bed to my bathroom where she's standing now without sliding on the wall. I couldn't walk in grocery stores and look at the freezer section. If I turned, I would get dizzy. My heart would race. My anxiety was crazy. And so I felt like the one with the issue of blood, I had spent many dollars going to many physicians because insurance don't cover everything. But let me tell you, the swap for insurance is assurance. And I speak that over your health journey. I want you to put your right hand in the atmosphere because I want to speak over you what insurance will not cover. God's assurance has already paid for. Drop those hands and shout amen. I was dealing with this and I was completely debilitated. I am a very self-sufficient individual, which is probably why I'm not married yet, but Pastor said he's praying for me. I like to do everything on my own. And so I was in physical therapy with John Hopkins. Y'all familiar with John Hopkins? Very notable hospital. And some days, the therapist who I love, she has blessed me. She was a blessing. Every person in my journey was a blessing. She was the woman that got me back to preaching. I was anxious, Pastor Don, about preaching because I was scared to stand and to sit and to move. It was lights and sounds that would affect me. And she told me, she said, Reverend, when you get up to preach, she said, I want you to find one thing to look at. She said, and set your eyes on that. And that's going to keep you stable. I said, that one thing, you don't even know, Miss Therapist Lady. I said, you just told me to keep my eyes on God. I was doing physical therapy one day, and I'm getting to the close, I'm finished. I was doing physical therapy one day, and I could not do the exercise. She would make me walk back and forth down the hallway, and she would make me stop and tell me what I was feeling, what I was experiencing. And one day I couldn't do it. I couldn't complete it. And I was leaning up against the wall, and she said, Reverend, tell me what you are feeling. I said, I feel like I cannot go on. I feel like the ceiling is meeting the roof at a point, as if there is no wall. And I feel like I'm walking a line. She said, okay, and this blessed me real good. She said, okay, let me help you, Reverend. She said, you get 30 seconds to stay right there. But while you are standing there, I need you to hear me. She said, I know you are having a hard time, but let me ask you something. She said, even though you feel the floor leaning and you feel like you're walking at an angle, she said, let me make one suggestion. Since we cannot control your condition, the least we can do is control your position. She said, Reverend, I know you're having a hard time. She said, but as long as you're leaning, the world will lean. She said, and I'm standing here as a reminder that the reality is the floor ain't meeting the ceiling. That there is a clear path for you to walk. So if you can do me a favor and trust what I'm telling you, because I'm seeing you in reality, she said, you will understand that what you're seeing in your subconscious ain't really what it is. And I think the facial expression on my face told her either this is blessing me or annoying me. But it was doing a little bit of both. I told the woman, I said, I will walk as long as I see you walking. And I want to serve as a reminder to you, Love City. I'm not sure how you see things lately. And I'm not sure how blurred your vision may be. But please count me as an example to tell you that things are not as they appear. But if you keep walking, you may not be able to change your condition, but you will be able to change your position. And I want to know if I got anybody in here